Hello. Hopefully some people will show up in a minute. It's 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And when I say Pacific, I'm talking about the west coast of the U.S. I guess there's like 5 or 6 different Pacifics, So hopefully no one was confused about that. Just wait for a couple more people to show up, and then we'll get started. I'm not sure how long this is going to go, but I do have 19 questions. Actually, I have 18, but I added a question because of things that people are asking me online. So, hopefully someone's going to show up soon. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me see if my volume's all the way up. Oh, there. That might help. Can you hear me? Alright, anyways, I'm getting started because I don't want this to be a boring video or live. My name's Michelle Harvey. I live in Eureka, which is in the U.S. A lot of you already know me. I just started making these videos a few years ago because I was, just trying to learn how to use it, and it was kind of appealing to me to maybe be able to use it as a means of making money. So I've been getting better and better at it as the time goes by. Hopefully someone shows up. Oh, yay, we got someone. Let's see. Hi. I'm glad you're here. My viewers. Anyways, let's get started. Question number 1 was, what was life like before getting clean? Before I got clean, it was a struggle. Everyday tasks took me forever. I used to have my own landscaping company during that time, and I had quite a few customers, but I slowly lost them one by one because I fell deeper into my addiction, and it was hard for me to function when I was high. Everyday tasks took me hours. So it was a struggle. All I did was isolate and, try to get high. I tried to use it as an excuse to not have to listen to my negative thoughts or have to take responsibility for my actions. I wasn't interested in doing that. So life was kind of hellish before I got clean. How did I get clean? Well, in 2022, my old man, and my daughter wound up becoming homeless, and we were living in the back of a broke down car in a parking lot, and my daughter wound up getting taken from me by CPS. I knew it was going to happen before it did, but you're never ready for your kid to be taken from you. I had lost the ability to stop myself from getting high and turn my life around. And so when she was taken, I kind of went deeper into this rut, and I knew that it was going to be the thing. Thank you for joining. That helped me turn my life around. But it wound up taking me 6 months to start actively trying to turn my life around. I wound up going to detox in Vallejo, and that was great. It was a 10-day thing. I wish I would have known that they had already had plans for me to go to a shelter where I could be with my kid. Not a shelter, a program where you could get your kid out of the system and have them live with you, but I didn't know that, so I tried to make my own arrangements to come to Eureka, because before that I was living in Weed and Mount Shasta. So anyways, I got clean because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get her back until I turned my life around. And I had already been through recovery before, so I kind of had an idea of what to expect. So I used that to my advantage, and I made sure that I researched all the resources that were available for people that were trying to get off drugs. Thank you for joining. And that's what I did. I went to detox, and then I went to straight to a program in Eureka. Life in recovery. What was life like in recovery? At first, it was terrible because you have to get used to being a normal person. You know, when you, depending on how long your addiction is, you tend to forget how you're supposed to behave in society, and you're kind of really rough around the edges. So the first part of recovery is always pretty rough. You know, you have to get used to your feelings and get used to acting like a normal person. I mean, there's no such thing as normal, but whatever normal is for you, that's normal. You know, but behaving in a manner that the rest of society is used to. You have to do chores. You have to get up by like 6:30 in the morning. You can't be arguing or fighting with the people in the program. You have to, you know, you just have to follow the rules. And so it was kind of rough at first, but since I already knew what to expect, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, how do I stay consistent with my work? That's number 4. Basically, if we're talking about my videos, I have thousands of snippets that I've taken over the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years, but most of them that I use now are ones from when I got clean on. You know, I only throw in the ones from my addiction when I'm trying to, like, make a video about recovery, you know. But as far as saying consistent with my work, I'm grateful that I take a lot of pictures and do a lot of filming on whenever I get a chance. It doesn't matter if I'm at work. I'll do it when I'm on a break. You know, just to lighten the mood. It makes things more fun and interesting. So, because of the fact that I have thousands of snippets in my gallery and my Google Photos and stuff, I have material to use when I don't have the ability to make a brand new video. So that's how I stay consistent with my work. I know that it really matters. If I'm not posting, I'm not going to get more followers, and I'm trying to build this brand to, like, inspire people to change their lives. So that's how I do it. Okay, so I made this question, number 5, I made it for my viewers that are upset with me for not responding to my messenger messages and not talking to them on WhatsApp or some other platform like Telegram. I don't use WhatsApp or Telegram, and a couple years ago I had my original Facebook page from like the beginning of Facebook until like 2 years ago that I was using, and I was starting to build up a lot of followers and stuff, doing the same thing that I'm doing now. But I was more active talking to people in Messenger, and I wound up getting hacked, and someone broke into my page and I had 3 pages at the time. They made a 4th page that was sexual, and Facebook wound up deactivating my account. So I lost everything that I had on that account. So I was kind of upset about that. And so because the reason I don't talk to people on Messenger is because, number 1, I don't want to give anybody the room to hack me. Hi, Tyler. Thank you for joining. And number 2, I am only one person. I'm doing this by myself. So, like, I don't have a team to do all these responses to people. I'm really good about responding to comments in my videos or my posts. I feel like that's important. And so on top of having a career and doing these posts or videos by myself, hey, I have to respond to all the comments, and I don't have time to respond to like 3,000 messages on my own. You know, maybe once I get people involved in helping me do this, then I might be able to take the time to respond to your messages. So just please be patient with me. This is a learning process. I know I've been doing this for a minute, but I'm still fresh in this whole concept. So give me some courtesy or patience with that. Number 6, what are some everyday things that I find challenging since getting clean that I thought were easy when I was using? Example, approaching people or socializing, etc. I really don't have a issue with approaching people. I never have, really. Maybe first when I got into my program for rehab, I might have had a problem approaching people because it's kind of a weird situation. You feel like you're all alone, even though everybody is in there for somewhat similar reasons, you know. So it takes a minute to open up to the people in your program because you're stuck in defense mode when you first get into recovery. You think that like everybody's trying to attack you. And so maybe when it comes to that aspect, it might have been different for me compared to when I was high and didn't have no problems like showing ass or talking to anybody, you know. But as I got through the beginning of my, thank you for joining, you guys, the beginning of my recovery, and I started settling into actually performing like someone responsible in society, then it wasn't bad at all. You know, I've always been a social person. I like to talk to people. I like to be... Sorry about that, guys. I got kicked off because someone was calling me. But yeah, hopefully you guys are able to log back in. I was talking about everyday things that I might find challenging since getting clean that I thought were easy when I was using. And it's never been hard for me to, because they said, for example, approaching people or socializing, etc. Like I said before in the last video, I don't really have a hard time socializing with people, except for like when I first came back to recovery. You know, I was well guarded. I had to get out of that victim mentality, and so it took me a minute to warm up to some of the people in my program. But other than that, in recovery or in life, closed mouth don't get fed. And that means if you're going to sit there and stew in your feelings and not talk to anybody, no one will be able to help you. So you have to open your mouth and reach out to people in order to be able to make it through the first part of recovery. That's like the most delicate time, you know. So just learn how to advocate for yourself, and you have to be vocal with the way you're feeling, what's going on in your head, all that, in order to be able to make it through the first part of recovery. I mean, you did the hardest part, and that was coming to get help, you know. And then the next part is you have to surrender your will or your intentions and be open-minded so people can help you. And in order for you to be able to do that, you need to be willing to tell people what's going on with you. So that's the way it is. How do I have fun in recovery? This is number 7. I try to make light of everything, you know, because at this point in my life, this is the second time I've been in recovery. The first time I was in recovery, it lasted for 8 years. or at least that's what I feel like it was, 8 years, you know, but I had slowly started drinking. So, anyways, when I got back into recovery, I wanted to make sure that I took advantage of everything that came my way, the good, the bad, you know, the indifferent. Everything that you go through in life is a learning lesson, you know, and if you get out of the victim mentality and you start thinking like, the only reason I'm going through this situation is because I have something to learn from it, then that makes it a lot less scary, you know. So in order for you to have fun in recovery, you have to just look at it in a different way. You have to look at it like, you know, this is the first day of the rest of my life, you know. I want to make every second count. I want to have fun. So just look for the positive things in every situation, and then it's not so hard to have fun. And I make it a point to be goofy because laughter is healing, you know, and a lot of my friends know that I like to goof around, and that is a very healing thing. So just try to have fun. Don't be so serious all the time, you know. It's simple, you know. A lot of people can get stuck in their own head and make it harder than it has to be, you know. It's not something that's very hard at all. Once you become open to suggestions and trying new things so that you don't go backwards, then everything's all downhill. I mean, or uphill. It's an uphill battle, but I mean, like, you've never been as far down as you have been in your addiction. You know, once you get out of your addiction, everything's going to be better from then on, as long as you keep moving forward. So when you think about that, it makes it easier to have fun and goof around, as long as you're not doing things that put you at risk of relapsing or being around people that are still in their addiction. You should be able to have fun, you know, like just make the best of every second. So number 8. Am I married? No, I'm not married. I am engaged. I've been with the person that I'm with for over 16 years. It feels like longer because we broke up for a little bit, but we're back together, and we have one kid in common, and together. I love you. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. I love my hair too. Maybe one day I can dye your hair. But anyways, we're not married. I've never been married. I've thought about it for years, you know, and I actually proposed to my old man, and now the ball's in his court. It was 2 years ago when I proposed to him, so he's got to make the next move. But yeah, no, I'm not married. I've never been married. How many children do I have? That's number 9. I have a total of 5 daughters myself. And then my old man has 2 more daughters, so that's 7. One of them we had together, you know. So I have 7 daughters in total, and they're all beautiful. Some of them are going through their own problems right now, and I would like to be able to be more active in their life, but I have to be patient, so that all will come in time. So yeah, I got 5 beautiful daughters. What is my job? My job, I work for the union. Hello, Abbas. How are you? Thank you for joining. My job right now, I work in the union, the labor union. It's called Leuna 324. So basically what I do is grunt work, basically. I worked harder in this career than I worked in my entire life. I love it. You know, I'm like the only woman around here that's in the union. I mean, there are some, but it's few and far between. So my job is basically, I'm an apprentice in the labor union, and I go to construction jobs, and I start at the bottom. I do all the stuff that nobody else wants to do, the hardest stuff, you know, and it's great. It's really fulfilling work, and it's awesome to get to work in an industry that there's not many women in, you know. All right, my favorite color is teal. You know, I love teal. I love all colors, but teal has to be my favorite one. Teal, red, and I know black's not a color, but I like black too. I like orange as well. Basically every color, you know, as long as it's not poop brown, you know, but sometimes I wear it for makeup like that color, which I'm wearing right now. So it's not my favorite color, but it looks really good on me. How has my recovery journey been for me and those who love me? It's been rough. It's been really rough. When I'm in my addiction, I am very mean and scary to people. I'm very violent, and at the drop of a hat, I might be swinging at somebody, you know. And I feel like when I'm in my addiction, I always think that I'm right. No one else. You're funny, Tyler. Yeah, that's not what that meant, okay? Anyways, so yeah, it was rough at first, you know. Things are starting to come full circle. Like some of my daughters that weren't talking to me are talking to me now. I still got one that's really not talking to me, and that's because of things that I did in my addiction. I'm gonna make a letter for her to apologize, but as far as being able to give it to her, I have to wait until the opportunity presents itself, and I need to talk to my sponsor about it before I even attempt to apologize to her, which I already did in the beginning of this recovery. I tried to apologize to her, and it wasn't a good time. It wound up just hurting her more and me, because she flipped out on me and said that she didn't want to talk to me for the rest of my life and that she hated me. So all good things come to those who wait. So I have to wait until she's ready to talk to me before I make the attempt. So yeah, I hurt my mom. I hurt everybody around me. I used to treat my old man and my daughter like garbage, you know, because I was mad at myself and I was throwing it on everybody that was around me. So yeah, my recovery journey has been rough, but now that I'm on the other side and I'm clean, things just keep getting better and better and better. And it's not going to be perfect, you know. When you get into recovery, people think, oh, now I'm not going to have any more problems. No, life is going to happen on its own terms, you know. There's good and bad things that happen to us every day, and the only thing that can help you with dealing with bad things when you don't feel like you should have to is looking for the lesson that you're learning from whatever situation you're going through at the time that you feel like is a bad situation. So it's all on you. Like, if you want your life to be happy, your life will be happy and you'll be happy. But it's all in how you think about it. So, and I'm doing a living amends for my family and everybody around me. So the way that they see that I am sorry for my actions is by the way I act now and from this point on. So all I can do is take care of what's going on now and keep moving in a positive direction, and then they will notice that I really did feel ashamed about my previous actions. So you got to be patient. All right, number 13. What is the first thing I do when I wake up and realize that I have another day to be amazing? Well, thank you for that, Angel. I love that question. Sometimes I'm like, when I get up, I'm happy, you know. Sometimes it fluctuates, you know. Sometimes I'm too tired to even think about anything. I'm kind of mean in the morning, and you know, I need to get back out of that habit because it doesn't serve me any justice, you know. So, but yeah, I really try to focus on how grateful I am for the fact that I'm not homeless anymore. The fact that I don't have to hang off the side of a bed upside down and hit myself in the neck with a needle. You know, I have misses on my neck. I have scars from missing right here in the neck. I had a huge, like, abscess on my neck when I was, you know, still getting high. So, I mean, that's something to be grateful for, that I don't have to do that anymore. I have my willpower that I have given to my higher power, so I can be safe. You know, I know that my higher power has my back, and that's all I need to know. So all I do when I wake up is be grateful for the things that I do have, not for the things that I want. not be resentful for the things that I want and don't have yet. You know, because I could be back on the streets. I could be homeless. I could be back living in the back of a broke down car under a abandoned apartment complex awning, you know. But I'm not, you know. I'm here. I have my own apartment. I got my daughter back. I'm in the union. I have a car, you know. It's all great. Yes, thank you, Tyler. So yeah, just be grateful, you know. Like, don't try to make it a resentment, because if you do, you'll wind up relapsing, and then you have to start all over. But as long as you keep coming back, that's all that matters. Just keep coming back, and you will eventually be able to figure it out, especially if you get a sponsor and work the steps. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for joining. All right, number 14. Am I originally from Eureka? No, I'm not originally from Eureka. I moved here specifically for recovery because when I was still in my addiction, before I went to a detox this time, a friend of mine was telling me, oh, thank you, Julie. I'm happy too. I'm proud of you too. A friend of mine was in her addiction with me, but her son was down here in Eureka, and he had been clean for over a year. And she said that recovery is really good in Eureka, so that's where I came. I was living in weed, like I said earlier, in the back of a broke down car, you know, with my daughter and my own man until she got taken. And then from that point, 6 months later, I lost everything, and I went to detox because I didn't want my daughter to think that I wasn't gonna try for her, you know, even though I knew that I had to do it for myself too. You know, you can't just go into it like, oh, I gotta get my daughter back, you know, and this is the only way to do it. You have to actually try to heal yourself before you can try to mend things with other people in your life. So I went to detox by myself. My old man stayed behind for about a month, and then he finally decided to go to rehab as well, and his clean date is in April, I do believe. April or May, I'm not sure. Wait, no, mine's May. So his is in June or July. So he's only a month or two behind me, and I really am appreciative that he finally did go to detox, because I was going to leave him, you know. If he didn't change his life around, I was going to leave him. And so I'm not originally from Eureka. I grew up in Mount Shasta in Siskiyou County. It's a beautiful place, but there's not much there to do other than, like, I mean, if you're a nature enthusiast, you can go hiking all the time. But I was stuck in my addiction, and that's not a good place to be at if you grew up there and you know everybody. And so I had to get out of there. So that's why I came to Eureka. Number 15, how old was I when I first did drugs? Okay, well, that's a good question, you know, because a lot of people don't consider cigarettes as a drug or sugar as a drug. If it comes to addict behavior, I was an addict when I was a baby, because I was breaking into my mom's, there was no lock on it. I didn't have to break into it. It was my mom's medicine cabinet underneath the sink in her bathroom, and I would go through and try to find stuff to drink, you know, and I wound up grabbing a bottle of iodine and taking a big old chug of it, and it burnt the shit out of my throat. And that's the only reason why I remember that, because it was horrible, you know. I'm surprised I didn't have to have my stomach pumped, you know, but that is addict behavior, you know, and of course I didn't know it then, you know, but my mom kind of did. She always told me that I needed to be careful because I could be an alcoholic or a drug addict, you know. So I didn't understand it at the time. I thought she was just trying to make me feel bad about myself, but she was right, you know, and that's probably because she's an addict too. So anyways, when I first did drugs was basically, I'm just going to go with cigarettes. I was like 11 or 12. And then it started from there. You know, I became interested in the rush that you get from taking a puff off a cigarette. It's not the same anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes. I use these tobacco pouches. But I'm still in, like, addict behavior because I will go to sleep with one of these in my mouth, you know. That's not normal, you know. And so slowly I'm trying to get out of doing stuff like that. But yeah, the first drug I did was cigarettes when I was 11 or 12. And then it progressed to pot, and then acid, and then everything else. I've never done Sherm or anything like that, no PCP, but I've done pretty much everything else. And it's pretty sad. Okay, number 16. Did I ever serve county or state time? Hi, Terry. Thank you for joining. Yes, I did county time, and when I was living in Arizona, I had to do 6 months in county, and that was long enough for me. I was really close to getting sent to prison for assault, you know. Like I said, when I'm in my addiction, I'm a very violent person. I love fighting, and it's crazy because I'm like the nicest person when I'm not in my addiction. I can be nice in my addiction, but it's more likely that I'm not going to be nice, you know, because I'm mad at myself, and I'm going to take it out on everybody around me. So, yeah, I was really close to getting sent to prison because I kept getting assault charges, and I wound up doing probation for 3 years and, like, turning my life around at that point, kind of, you know, so I didn't have to go to prison. It was really close, though. If I would have kept going down that path, I would have done prison time. I might have even killed someone, you know. I've gotten really close in several situations. I'm not proud of that. Number 17, am I currently on probation or parole? No, actually I'm not. It took me a minute to get done with it, but I went through a mental health diversion program, and I wound up through that program getting to be able to seal the charges for that. Like, they said that they were shredded. I don't know if that's just a terminology or if they actually shredded my paperwork when I got done. And so it's supposedly not even on my record anymore. I have those old assault charges, but they are like 12 years old, more than 12 years old, like 15 or 20 years old. So, I mean, depending on the type of company I apply at, no one's going to really know about that. So, as long as I keep doing positive things will come to me. Hello, Antwi. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Thank you for joining. Okay, now I just got done saying that I'm not on probation or parole. I finished all that. I got my record sealed, and I don't have any active cases in the court system. I have full custody of my daughter now, and I'm, you know, actively, I feel like a better person, you know. All right, how old am I now? I am 48. Well, actually, at the end of this month, I'm going to be 48. I was born in 1977. You know, I think I was adding years onto my life because I did the math, you know. 2026 minus 1977, it said 48, but then I realized I haven't had my birthday yet this year, so that's how old I'll be after my birthday. I was trying to add years onto my life. Do I ever think about getting married? Yes, I always think about getting married. I wish my old man would actually get up off his butt and marry me, but I don't know. He's going through his own thing. I try not to work his program. I try to focus on mine, because that's just going to head us down the wrong road. We'll form resentments towards each other, and that's not healthy. So I have to work my own program. All right, you guys, I really appreciate you guys joining. I'm going to make another post for more questions you guys might have. If you have a couple questions right now, we can go over them. But as far as everything else goes, I really thank you guys for participating in it. And let me know in the comments on this once I post it what else you guys want to know, or if you enjoyed doing this live with me. I will do it more often. I will make it a point to communicate with you guys through this. Like I said earlier, I am one person. I don't have a team to help me with this stuff. So be patient with me. You know, I respond to every comment that I get on my posts. I make as many posts as I can. I'm also working, you know, like I work a full-time job in the union. I work 10 hours a day, 40 hours a week, you know. So on top of working and making the videos and responding to all the comments on the videos, that's a lot. Okay, so there's over 3,000 of you in my followers that keep sending me messages, and I just apologize. I'm not able to respond to them right now. All right. But thank you very much. Give me some questions, and we'll do this again. Love you guys.